Wolf and Mike Hookham have been reported to the police over an altercation that left Mr Wolf in hospital earlier this month.
It prompted an extraordinary exchange in the European Parliament involving Mr Schulz, Mr Hookham and the UKIP leader Nigel Farage.
Earlier today, Mr Weber made a defamatory statement against me, which you supported. Can I ask that both you gentlemen leave this building where you don't have parliamentary immunity and repeat those statements so I can take legal action against you?
If you want to take steps against me by civil procedure, you can go ahead and do so. Do that here in Strasbourg, in Germany. I would have no problem at all with seeing you in court. I'd be very pleased to do so.
I said in this chamber that I felt the French Commissioner, Jacques Barrot, was unsuitable to be a European Commissioner because he'd received a conviction for embezzlement and been suspended from public office. Despite the fact what I said was true, it caused a huge outcry. And I was told that because he'd been amnestied by President Chirac under French law, it was an offence ever in public in France to refer to the incident. So there was a lot of speculation over whether the French police were going to come into this building and arrest me. But the President of the Parliament at the time said, no, that is not the case. How can it be, with that precedent having been set, that you can refer an alleged incident between two MEPs that took place in an official committee room in this Parliament to the French police?
So let's bring in Sky's Darren McCaffrey in Westminster. So Darren, did they establish where they are? Are they liable under French law or not?
You know what? It is not clear, actually. We've got suggestions from UKIP, obviously Nigel Farage there, that is not the case, that it is not under French law. And then, of course, Martin Schulz and indeed Stephen Wolf saying it is. I mean, Jane, if you think your family rows are messy, it is nothing compared to UKIP. They are absolutely tearing strips of each other this afternoon on all of this. And there are two different investigations I should talk about. So first of all, let's talk about the one inside the European Parliament that is obviously involves Martin Schulz, who's the EU Parliament President. He has referred this now to the police because he claims there aren't enough witnesses and it needs to be properly investigated. It could be a criminal matter. If it is a criminal matter, clearly Mike Hookham or indeed Stephen Wolf could face prosecution over that, and there could be further sanctions for UKIP inside the European Parliament. Though we have to remember that Stephen Wolf has previously referred this to the French police anyway. And then on top of that, there is an internal UKIP inquiry. Now, we're expecting that report to be actually published at some point today. And in that inquiry, it's looking increasingly likely that Mike Hookham might be let off the hook. Essentially, it's going to conclude that he didn't punch Stephen Wolf. Now, why are we reaching that conclusion? Well, I've just spoken to Nigel Farage, the UKIP leader, who insists that Stephen Wolf was not punched. He says there is no evidence for it. Now, you might find that a bit bizarre, given the fact that Nigel Farage was at Stephen Wolf's bedside posing with him within hours of the attack. But then we have to remember things have changed, haven't they, in the last few weeks or so, because Stephen Wolf is no longer a member of UKIP, having quit the party last week. So it's confusing, it's messy, and my word, UKIP yet again involved in all sorts of rows and fights that, you know, to the viewing public and to UKIP voters must seem utterly bizarre.
All good fodder for a political correspondent. Darren, thanks very much.
Still to come on Sky News.